Coming up, a tentative agreement is reached between writers and Hollywood studios. And a journey 7 years in the making. Samples collected from an asteroid make a grand entrance onto Earth. The morning rundown starts now. This is Straight Arrow News, bringing you unbiased, straight facts. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Unions representing thousands of Hollywood writers have reached a tentative deal with major Hollywood studios. The agreement is expected to end a strike that has lasted more than 5 months. Virtually all Hollywood production of scripted content has been on hold as writers and studios were at a standstill over workers' contracts. The strike began in May, 146 days ago. Late-night talk shows were put on pause. TV shows and movies experienced production delays. Warner Brothers said the strike likely cost them $500 million in earnings. Meanwhile, a strike among auto workers is ongoing, and the United Auto Workers Union is reportedly ready to stay on strike for months. According to internal emails obtained by CNN, the union's communication director said a months-long strike would damage reputations of the automakers and create production line chaos. The strike originally affected just 3 assembly plants, but on Friday, the union moved to expand it to 38 parts and distribution centers across 20 states amid ongoing negotiations. Democratic Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey is facing a growing number of calls to resign following his indictment on bribery charges announced Friday. Democratic Senator John Fetterman and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez want their colleague to step down, and Democrats in the state of New Jersey have also called for his resignation, including Governor Phil Murphy. Other prominent Democrats aren't going so far in their criticism of the senator, but are calling the charges alleged against him serious. He and his wife face charges that include conspiracy to commit bribery and conspiracy to commit extortion after nearly $500,000 in cash was found inside his home. According to the indictment, the senator and his wife accepted bribes that benefited the Egyptian government. Senator Menendez did resign from his role as chair of the Foreign Relations Committee after news of the indictment came out Friday. A deadly and devastating collision between an SUV and train is raising renewed concerns over railroad tracks lacking signals. 6 people, including 3 children, died after the SUV crossed in front of a barreling train. The crash occurred just outside of Tampa, Florida on Sunday. 7 people were inside the SUV when it was T-boned by a train, flipping the vehicle multiple times in what police called a violent impact. There were no train signals at the intersection. The train conductor was honking and flashing lights at the SUV's driver, and according to cameras on the train, the car rolled through a stop sign at the tracks. The train tried to brake, but was still traveling at 55 miles per hour on contact. A Washington Post ABC News poll released Sunday found that President Joe Biden trails former President Donald Trump by 10 percentage points as the 2 candidates are readying for the 2024 election. However, the Post also said this poll was likely a, quote, outlier, citing other polls that show Biden and Trump in a dead heat. That includes a CBS News poll from earlier this month that had the pair separated by just 1 point. Meanwhile, this latest poll by the Post and ABC also found Biden's approval rating currently sits at 37%, 5 points down from where it was in February. 56% of Americans responded that they disapprove of the current president. In comparison, when asked to look back at Trump's presidency, the result was 48% of respondents saying they approved of the previous administration, while 49% said they disapproved. That 48% approval rating is up 10 points from when Trump left office in 2021 and higher than it was throughout almost the entirety of his presidency. 7 months since former President Jimmy Carter entered hospice care, he and his wife made a surprise visit to their hometown in Georgia for an appearance at the Peanut Festival. The 2 waved to the crowd as they drove through. The former president has been in home hospice care since February. His wife recently diagnosed with dementia. The 2 are the nation's longest married couple at 77 years. Carter will turn 99 years old next week. And finally this morning, newly collected asteroid samples could provide clues about the birth of our solar system. There was much excitement from NASA on Sunday when this capsule made a safe landing back to Earth after a 7-year journey. The capsule has traveled far and wide on its search for answers, a total of 4 billion miles in space. The collected sample comes off of the asteroid Bennu. Scientists believe this raw material collected is 4.5 billion years old and is the same material that made Earth. NASA will now hand the samples over to scientists, hoping to learn more about the origins of our unique Earth. These are your top stories. Be sure to subscribe to our Morning Rundown podcast to listen to our show each weekday morning. And check out more of our work at san.com and on the Straight Arrow News app. Unbiased, straight facts, that's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.